WA. My name is Shannon.
And my name is Kaylin, and today we've got two incredible interviews with actors Freya Tingley and Loro Bardot. It's going to be a great episode. First up, we do have Freya, an amazing actress. She's been in Hemlock Grove, Once Upon a Time, and Time Addicts recently, which is on Australian and New Zealand Netflix. How are you today, Freya?
I'm good, thanks, guys. How are you guys?
I'm
good. Thank you.
Kaylin, you forgot that she was also in your favourite movie, Jersey Boys.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's all like the Jersey Boys story. I'm like, should we get straight into the stalker Jersey Boys
Yeah, you
story?
want a story? So first day on set with Clint Eastwood, I'm like, oh, hi, Clint, nice to meet you. And he's like, no, we've met before. And I'm like, oh, no.
You're like, oh,
I think I would remember meeting Clint Eastwood. So I'm trying to rack my mind. I'm like, where did I meet him? Like, pictures going a million miles an hour. And then I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know, really? And he's like, yeah, we met on Cottesloe Beach in Perth. And I'm like,
You met Clint Eastwood on Cottesloe
When was
Beach
Clint
in
Eastwood
Perth?
on
I'm like,
Cottesloe
I think
Beach?
I would remember. I mean, I used to go to that beach all the time.
Yeah.
But like, and I'm like, surely I did because he's
You
saying
remembered.
something so specific. And I'm like, oh, I'm really, really sorry. I don't remember meeting you. And he's like, I'm just kidding.
What are little jokes?
Yeah.
Experience like though working, because that's pretty huge. Like it would have been an amazing experience.
Yeah,
Very large scale production.
I'm such a huge fan of the 70s for movies. And like, because he's quintessential to that time period, it was incredible working with somebody who is so renowned as a director.
Yeah, what was his directorial style like? Like, did you notice anything that he does particularly different?
So I remember researching before I got the role, and I was like, wanting to find out as much as I could about him. And I was watching interviews with actors that had worked with him, and one particular interview was with Meryl Streep. And she talks about how he'll direct in a way that you don't know you're being directed. And I'm like, oh, okay. Don't know what that means, but we'll see. And then I got on set, and it was the scene with my father. It's a diner scene. And we were shooting that for a few hours, and in between takes, he'd come up to me. He'd sit next to me, and he'd just sit there really relaxed, and he'd be like, so, you're talking with your dad, and things aren't going quite well in your life, and just talking to me about my character. And it was almost by like osmosis that he kind of directs, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like you need to do this and at this point I want this. It's more just a very natural way of just talking to you.
How did you go from Perth to being on the international stage? Like, you've been in Once Upon a Time and like Hemlock Grove, like these are like big stellar things. Like, how did you do that?
I knew that I had to go to Hollywood. I knew that that was like the place to be, Hollywood. And I was really fortunate to have parents that supported me. And so when I was acting and we started getting feedback on what I was like, and my parents started to see like, oh, this is maybe something that we could take seriously. And they were like, okay, Hollywood. Right, okay, well, what do we have to do to get there? And I was just so fortunate to have that support and encouragement and have parents that were really proactive in helping me in that way, because there's two sides. There's obviously the business side, but also the artistic side. And so my parents really helped with the business side of it. And then, I moved to LA when I was 16, 17. And I did my first pilot season when I was 17.
That's such a crazy process. I was reading stuff about like the blacklist and the pilot seasons and all this stuff that you never end up seeing, but you shoot so many pilots, and it's apparently such a hectic time as well.
It was crazy. Yeah, I had like 80 something auditions in the span of like 3 months, and I was on crunch time because it was like, you can't live out there forever without earning money. So it was basically like I had 3 months to book a job. Otherwise, it was back to Baker's Delight, where I'd worked when I was 14. It's my first job. I was like, oh no, not Baker's Delight. Oh no, I best book a job real soon. And I wanted it to be a TV series because I figured there was longevity in that, and it could sustain me for a while in living in LA. And then I had this idea, like, I've got to book this by my 18th birthday. So that was my goal. That was my manifestation, so to speak. And then just shy of my 18th birthday, I think it was that day, I signed the contract for Hemlock Grove, booking my first TV series in America.
When you did start in Perth, I know you started with Black Swan Theatre Group, which of course is a staple in the Perth theatre scene. Is that kind of, did you start with stage acting and then kind of transition into those kind of short films and screen acting, or were you really from the get-go interested in just working for screen?
So I got the first theatre play that I ever did was with Black Swan, and it was actually the first audition that I ever did.
Wow.
And I'd only just started acting, I think, a month prior. So I knew that I wanted to do TV and movies, but I didn't have anything specific in mind. I was like, I'll audition for everything, see what I book. And then I booked that. And then I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, that was a new experience for me because I hadn't done theatre before. And I was very shy as a kid. So then being on stage in front of hundreds of people was really scary, but I really loved it.
And recently you kind of came back to Oz, to the roots of our society with Time Addicts.
Woo!
Good stuff, which is very distinctly Australian kind of feel to it, but also with that very fun time travel twist without spoiling. I don't know if we could spoil it because the plot is so like any time travel movie, it's like to explain and be so just watch it and find out for yourself pretty much. But where did you film Time Addicts?
In Melbourne.
In Melbourne?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
That's amazing. Yeah, and so it's now out on Netflix. But how did you find that working back in Australian? It was something very distinctly Australian as well, but still as crazy as like a time travel movie. I mean, we were talking about before how a lot of Australian stuff is very like family, dead serious drama, and then it's fun to get something a bit more wacky like that. How was that process?
So I got the script 2 years ago. I just arrived back in Australia, and I hadn't done an Australian project for over 10 years. And I read the script, and it was obviously really wacky, and I love that. It was different than anything I'd read. The character was a meth addict, this crazy, volatile, aggressive girl. I was like, there's a lot to work with here actually. And I love playing those parts that are so different from me. I love really being able to transform and sink into another character. And also just like look different as well. So I really went all out for the audition, really got into it. I think I did 3 auditions before I booked the role. And then once I booked the role, I found out that we were shooting in 2 weeks and I would be flying out to Melbourne in 1 week from Perth. So that was another challenge in itself, playing a meth addict.
It was about 1 week of prep before you're actually on set. And you've got to get in the headspace and it's not easy to do.
Yeah, fully. So then, I did as much research as I could within the span of a week before we went into rehearsals for another week. And then we went straight into shooting, and that was a really cool thing to be back in Australia working on my first Australian thing in over 10 years and working with Australian crew, which was really refreshing because, we have, I don't know, it just felt different. It was like we're family and the sense of humour is the same. It was just like chill. It was just like Aussie vibes all around. And I really love that.
It's like your back movie like Time Addicts is so great, not only because it's crazy and entertaining, but because it really is an Australian production.
Yeah.
And you can tell the like care that's put into it. You can kind of tell that kind of everyone on the same vibe. You can tell the vibe that went into it was good.
Yeah, it was really good. And it starts from the top down. Like the producers were fantastic and the director, like everyone was just relaxed, or they seemed relaxed. They're probably stressing out.
I mean, casting within 2 weeks is probably a stressful
That's
experience.
so true. Yeah, but they were just like, I don't know, it was just like summer camp is what it felt like. And then obviously that translates to the entire cast and crew. It was just really nice. Yeah.
A dialect question. So obviously you've been working on all these like American productions. Was it, so you had 1 week, 2 weeks to prepare for this role, and after watching it, you have like a very heavy what's that like bogue accent? Is that
like,
the
it's the very like
Australian
Yeah.
accent. What was that like? Was it easier for you to go into that accent versus an American accent, or were you like stressed out a bit more?
No, I think I found it harder.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to acting in American accent. So that comes like more naturally. And then having to bring it back to Australian, I was like, I feel like I'm just sort of putting on a voice. And then on top of that, not sounding like myself, which sounds a bit more like proper Australian than ochre Australian. It was like, how do I do this without it feeling like it's too forced? Also doing that within a span of a week or two was another challenge. Yeah.
So the movie is also a one location film. Well, there's a few other locations, but mainly it's a one location film. How is that experience? Like the set constantly being transformed into different, well, it's in the name, Time Addicts, different time periods. But yeah, how is the experience on a one location set?
We were really fortunate because the house that we got was dilapidated and they were about to bulldoze the whole thing. And it was exactly laid out, exactly how the script is.
That's great.
Which is really, really lucky. And so we had 3 different time periods we had to do, which is obviously like the past, the future, and the present. And so set decorators and design had a day to go through when we were doing the shifts to different time periods to redo the whole, almost the whole house, or sometimes just a couple of different rooms, but like putting different wallpaper or taking wallpaper down, putting in different furniture. What they did was really, really incredible given the budget and the time that we had.
So is the shot list based around the different time periods?
Yeah. So we did present day first, and then we did the past and then the future. I think it was like that.
How was that jumping around a bit? I mean, in your head, ideally you'd say like following the linear, like the character arc in order, but when you're really having to jump around, in the movie literally jumping around time periods, but also in terms of getting in the right headspace and stuff, did you find that as a bit of a challenge? Or
it was definitely a challenge. I was like, where am I now? What time period? Where did I just come from and where am I going to? Yeah.
We're back with Loro Bardot. Loro stars in Power Alley, an incredible Brazilian film about abortion and sport and the laws around abortion in Brazil. The movie has over 100 nominations and has won 26 awards worldwide. Even the International Film Critics Award in Cannes Film Festival. Hi, Loro.
Hi.
What an incredible intro.
I know, it's stacked.
It was wild. You were
Stacked
saying
intro.
Yeah. Hi.
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 Good
stuff.
It's a big
Get
intro,
that,
gotta be a
baby.
big dramatic.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. That's
Yeah, It's
awesome.
incredible that you're here in Perth. How are you liking Perth?
It's good. At the start it was a little bit scary.
Scary?
We're just scary people here.
Yeah, it's very scary, like to be trans, immigrant, and artist in another country, first world country. When I arrived, I was like, what?
Yeah, just navigating everything is a lot.
But now I think, now look at me.
Just right at home, like, let's go. You're getting interviews, like the face of Perth film industry now, like you're going at it.
The face of the Perth South American film industry as well.
Yeah,
When we were at the premiere at Revelation, there was a strong community there.
It was
And they were
amazing. The support
incredibly
that came
proud of
out.
you. They
It was
all
amazing.
seemed very incredibly proud of you as well. So.
Yeah.
And your parents? Oh my
that made
God.
me tear up during the Q&A. There was a really amazing Q&A, and the feedback from the audience was beautiful. And then when your mom came up, I actually started tearing up. I was getting emotional because I was like, that's so sweet. They seem like just such lovely, sweet people.
Mom is like
Shout out, we need her on the
LGBTQ
podcast.
dream mom.
Absolutely. Love and
incredible.
support was beautiful to see.
A lot of love for your mom on this podcast.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Shout
We love
out
her.
Laura's
Mom. We love her.
It's very funny because sometimes when I show my mom around, like I bring my mom to parties with me, like
Cute,
I would too.
Yeah.
And then people start following her on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm like,
me.
can we get her Instagram? I'm like, we need to get her. We need a night out tonight. Laura's mom. Let's go hit the clubs.
She has like fans. So good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
so
that's
sweet.
a symptom of how parents have problems with their kids when they are LGBT, you know? So when LGBT people see a mom that actually, embraces it, it's very like, whoa. So that's very good, and also like shows how, you know, parents act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible that you use the word embrace, because that's so true. She not just supports you, she fully embraces you and everything
and celebrates
that you are,
everything.
and celebrates too. Yeah, it was incredible to see a mother so loving towards their child.
Yeah, it would be not a bad idea if you bring her here,
I would love to.
because my mom is also an actress.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
My
you
dad
said-
is also an actor.
Get them on together.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And you said that she's a singer to me as well.
Singer?
Yeah, your mom was a singer?
No, she actually ran with the circus when she
Oh.
was 16.
That's a movie.
Yeah.
We need a movie of the life
Laura's
story.
mom.
Yeah,
Meant to
because
speak all that.
she was a gymnast,
Oh, amazing.
and then the circus arrived, and then a girl had a problem with her knee, something like that, and they needed someone to do acrobatics, and then my mom, they went to the gymnastic club in town. It's a very, very small town in Brazil, and then she was like, yeah, I'm good,
Yeah,
let's
let's do
go. And then everyone in the circus loved her, and then
That's
she
so
was
cool.
like, bye mom, bye dad, I'm going away.
Oh my
That's
God,
great. That's
your
16.
mom went away with the circus.
Yes.
She's that kid.
And then she got on hop on the trailer, and travel around Brazil
That's
in
amazing.
a trailer with a circus.
That's
That
the
is a
next
movie.
movie. That's
That
the
is
next
a
movie that we
movie.
need to
Oh my
make,
God.
because that's such a cool story.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
That's incredible.
So yeah, she's very cool.
That's very cool. Yeah. And the original title of the film, I think you explained, it was like almost French name. It was like L'Avanche.
Yeah,
L'Avanche.
good,
Yeah,
good.
I've got it now. I've like been
Good.
practicing my head.
L'Avanche.
We were talking about this before, but what does that actually translate to in English, or does it not really have a direct translation?
So Levante means setting up in a volleyball, right? And also means riot, that to make a riot, and also means to rise up, to stand up.
Yeah.
Something. So it's a very, very
It's
good
the
name.
perfect
It's
title
an
for the film.
Incredible name.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the director Lila
Yeah.
came up with that name.
Yeah.
That's like the
She
perfect.
chose it. Yeah, it was very good. It was not the title from the first movie.
Yeah.
The movie, I think, had like 8 scripts.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And then every script had like
It just changed a little bit.
Yeah, it changed a little bit, and had 3 titles, something like
Oh my
that.
gosh, landed
One
on
of
the
those
right one.
I think was Sacramento, which is the name of the city.
Yeah.
And and I don't remember the other one.
Yeah,
And
but we
that
got
was
the
Levante.
perfect title now.
That
So
is an incredible title.
can't think of one that like all 3 of those things just sets up literally everything about the movie
Yeah.
perfectly. Also, go watch the movie. It was
Yeah.
absolutely incredible, and I really haven't seen anything like it as well. And it was amazing to see, especially that it was like made in Brazil, Brazilian cast and crew, and it just felt so real.
Yeah.
And I was so glad that I got to see it. Like, it felt like really an honor to watch the movie. And like how crazy that now, of course, you're just in Perth, and that the premiere was able to happen at Rev, and so many people were able to see it that might not have
Yeah.
otherwise seen it.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, being able to share this film with people everywhere?
It was so. I don't have really words for that, because it's like so. I am right now the closest, the furthest I can be from my country.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like literally the other side of the world,
Yeah.
and that's the furthest anyone can go in the earth.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's other than that, it's just the moon.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the next location for the
Exactly,
premiere.
like it's the furthest I can go. So it's so breathtaking, you know. And this movie made me go to France, made me go to Sydney, because we premiered in Sydney at the Mardi Gras Film Festival, which was amazing as well. And then here in the Revelation Film Festival, which was even better, because my parents got to see me for the first time in the big screen.
Was that the first time they'd seen the
first time
film?
ever.
Wow,
Oh
that's
my
amazing.
Gosh.
So
So
it
those
was-
emotions from, I know we can keep going back to Laura's mom.
Yeah,
But the emotions are really
The
real for the
emotions
first
are
time
really
seeing
real.
it.
Oh my God.
because
that's
I
incredible.
stayed in Brazil to actually get a bachelor in acting, because if I came here with my parents, they've been here for 6 years, they're already permanent residents, but if I came with them, because the fee is very expensive for immigrants,
It's ridiculous.
so I actually got to stay when I was 19 years old in Brazil. So I stayed there by myself. I don't have a house. We don't buy houses in Brazil. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
So like I had to like live in a 2-per-2 house, and then it was a whole journey. My friends know.
The real ones know.
Yeah, they know what I've been through to go to college. And then after 3 years without seeing my parents, right? I was rolling cables in a play that I did a soundtrack. And then when I was leaving, the girl was like, "Oh, you're tall and you're kind of weird." Because I was bald. I was literally bald. Are you an actor? You have you were interesting. And I was like, yeah, I literally just graduated. And then she was like, "Oh, do you want to cast for me? Do you play volleyball?" And I was like, "Yes, I do play volleyball." Okay, let's cast. And then I did the casting. I was in Amazon when I did the casting.
Oh my gosh.
I was in a boat.
Oh my god, you're just like, hey, I'm just going.
And then I did the casting, and I got the part to do Sophia.
Yeah, the main role.
The main role, right? And then I said to my mom, "Hey, I need to stay because, I'm gonna be in a movie. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. This does not happen.
Yeah.
Right? This does not happen. You graduate being an actor, and then you take a long ride to actually be in something relevant." And I was already, like, my mind was prepared for that. Every actor should be prepared for that.
At any moment to get cast randomly in a film.
Exactly. And then the pandemic started in Brazil in March, right? So I had to stay like 2 years, because in Brazil it took 2 years. 2 years without seeing my parents even more. So it was like 5 years in total without seeing them. And you see how I am with them. So I'm the only child. So like it was crazy. So after 2 years, I was so scared that I wasn't going to be cast again. And for you to be an actor, 2 years of your 20s, it's very hard.
It's a long time.
Because it's like the experience that you could have gotten, the age itself. People are very hard with age. So I was very scared that I was not going to get the role anymore. And then I actually did the film. It was great. And then I came here. So it was like my mom never watched a play of mine after I like kind of became professional. Never watched a film, never watched anything, because we were so far away. In the 6 years, she did not see me like getting older, getting professional, mature. Because when she left, I was 19. Now I'm 26.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's like it was a big journey for us. So that day that you like saw, that was very magical. So that this is being Perth to me, this is Perth reality. I just came here to stay with my parents, and now I saw the opportunity to actually study and learn from Australians and Australia industry, because it's very, very good, very talented actors here, very good industry to start.
Going back to the film Power Alley, I'll use the English translation because I don't want to butcher the Portuguese word. What an incredible aesthetic in the film.
It was beautiful. Beautifully shot.
Wow. Like, I felt transported into Brazil and Brazilian culture. Like, I don't have the biggest knowledge on Brazilian culture, but from that first scene get-go, I'm like, okay, this is the world I'm in. This is the vibe, the outfits, the hair, everything was
the sense of community. Like, everything, it just felt so real, but it also felt like this is really a group of friends. Yeah. And this is a real community that like built from the very start, and you like are hooked by that from the very beginning, which I think was such a strength of the film. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like there was no like story to get going. You're straight in it. You're get-go. The first scene in the chemist, you're like,
Yes.
It was such a funny scene to start on as well. I was like,
it was a great choice.
It was a great choice, and like really put you in the world.
Oh, that's one of my favorite scenes.
It was great. It was so funny.
And the guy that was selling the medicine to us in the movie, he's not an actor.
He's a real pharmacist.
He's a real pharmacist.
Oh, that makes sense.
We just like, okay, we're just gonna ask you random stuff, and it was all improvised, basically. And then he just kept going very serious, like, no, this is this and this is that. And me and Ona, the other actress, okay, let's just like ask
So
some
weird.
just the weirdest shit
he's
just to
just there, like-
distract him.
Oh my gosh. And he's
And
just
then
there.
he was like, no.
Just like,
This is
no.
what
He's just
are you
in it.
talking
I think that made
Yeah.
the scene so great. Is the contrast? He was like so
It
dead.
did.
He was like taking it so seriously, but
He's
like
like, this is my job.
that's so funny. But I think also the
Yeah.
bond that you had with all the actors in the production, I think it
Yeah,
was
you
so
can
strong, which is a
tell.
huge part of the film as well. The
Yeah.
support that like her team has for her without like spoiling the film. You just really felt that. And it was evident. So were you quite
chemistry.
close with people already from the film, or did you kind of meet through that casting and get to know each other
Yeah,
through
I've
that?
never sorry. I've never seen them before in my entire
Yeah.
life. Like that was just from the 3 months. In 3 months, that was the thing.
That's great.
But like of course in Brazil,
There's
when you
more a
meet-
sense of a community.
yeah, in
there.
Brazil
Yeah.
when you meet someone the first time, you're already friends.
Yeah.
You know, like you already know the whole story about their lives. You already know everything, and then you go out and you can call yourselves friends. You know.
Yeah.
So that was the weirdest part when I arrived here,
It's very
because I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, yo, what's up? And then
People are pretty guarded here.
never
Yeah.
again, and I'm like, oh fuck, am I being too what is going on? But then now I'm getting used to it. It's like more of a cultural thing, but in Brazil we do have this sense of community
Yeah.
since we were born. You know,
Yeah.
we take care of each other a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's annoying because you cannot do anything without people knowing. It just
Right.
spread really quick. So yeah, in the cast and crew, it was not hard at all
Yeah.
to bond with them because they are so fucking special.
The style in the movie.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
That-
like I'm so stuck on this because even another Brazilian friend of mine, Jobim, who I think you
Yeah,
know.
he was at the
Joe
premiere.
Bim.
Yeah,
Joe
we know
Bim.
him from
Joe
uni.
Bim.
Shout out, Jobim.
Shout out,
That's
Jobim.
my guy.
I was telling him after, I was just like, yo, this is what living in Brazil is like? I feel like it's like a Black Eyed Peas music video every day.
Yeah, I see the style
the
is
aesthetic,
great.
The
That
the
hair.
blonde hair, the mohawks, the like.
The
I didn't
hair.
have the chance. I didn't got the chance to talk to him after the movie. I was so
Yeah.
like wired, and after that,
Yeah, it's
I
like
didn't have the time to catch up.
But I need to know the style choice in the movie. Is this a Brazilian cultural thing, or was this like a
A movie styling.
style choice?
What do you mean by style?
See,
Just
okay, so maybe it is Brazilian style.
Just like, did you like with the outfits? Did you have a costume designer, or was
The
it very
outfits,
kind
the
of
hair,
you're
everyone's
dictating your own
hairstyled.
clothing, your personal
Oh,
styling?
No, yeah, okay. So we did well we did have a costume designer.
Yeah.
2 costume designers actually, the Nicole and Nina. And I don't know if you guys know, but this movie is actually a French, Uruguayan, Brazilian movie.
Oh,
okay.
interesting.
I didn't know about the
actually-
French bit.
Yeah, it's French. It's more French than anything.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Just the producers are French.
The
largely?
half like 51% of
Oh wow.
the thing is French,
Interesting.
and then there is like a part of Brazil, and there is another part of Uruguay.
Okay.
So most like there are some professionals that they are from Uruguay that
Yeah.
they went to Brazil to work, and the costume designer was one of them.
Yeah.
And she's always doing stuff in Brazil, so she
Yeah.
already knows. And the whole team were like, how would you do that? How would you guys do that? Like,
Yeah.
what do you guys feel comfortable wearing?
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? So like I chose to dye my hair.
Yeah.
I was the one that they like, can I keep it pink? Because I already had pink hair at the time. Yeah, let's just do it pink. Let's just do like lighter pink so it just shine on camera. But yeah, okay. So you have a t-shirt that you want to wear in the movie. Yes, I do. This t-shirt, can I use this?
Yeah.
Yes, you can use it. At least if there's no logo in it.
Yeah.
And then the other things, they just went into op shops.
Like you
And-
mentioned, not clipping your wings, letting them like just being able to fly, being able to experiment again, like you said, picking out your own stuff, building the community together.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and also seeing a queer relationship on screen was
Ah,
such a
yeah.
beautiful part.
Yeah.
I was like, made me like, again, that was another one of the moments that got me emotional. All the threads of the story in the film work together so well.
Yeah.
All these, like, you've got that of the volleyball, and you got a story about the abortion, the relationship with her dad, the like romantic relationship, all these different elements, and it comes together.
The relationship with the coach. Which is also beautiful.
And everything was so fully formed. Like, there's so many movies where they go through so many threads, but you just think that's not coming together and it's not flowing naturally. Whereas in this, it just all the different dynamics flowed so well together, and together it just made incredible. So, and I think that's amazing, like, as you mentioned, as a trans person as well, working with a bunch, like a great community, a bunch of other like LGBT people.
Yeah, it was
just amazing.
It's actually very good, guys, very good to have more than one trans person on set. Okay, especially in the movie. More than two, because we might not like each other.
Just in case.
A third trans person is the best. Okay, so like in the acting cast, we got 8 people. That's 3 of them were trans, and thank God we liked each other a lot. So we got to support each other. Like, there was a lot of times where people misgender me or misgender Law or misgender Ona, and this get to us in the. We are very used to this kind of daily, right? But it's like, people might not be. People, you don't have to count with that. You don't count with that. You count with that people are going to have a good time, are going to be respected. So, but you cannot control stuff. So to have more people on the set, they are actually understand each other. The same with Black people with all the Black cast as well. They were very supportive of each other. Everyone. So it's like, I think half or the majority of the entire people in the cast and crew were women.
That's
like 80% easy.
That really shows. You can always kind of tell. I love it. You can tell the care that.
And half were Black. And there was like, I think half or the majority was also LGBT.
Yeah. So this is the minority.
This is like
movie.
The dream.
Yeah. It's like the minority movie. Yeah,
the dream crew for working on this film.
And it was like just conquering awards.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's amazing.
Beautiful.
I want to see more of it.
Yeah.
Just whoa, you know how it's so cool.
This movie has that like strong storyline, strong like cast chemistry, but it also has very strong technical aspects as well.
Yeah. Well done.
It's incredibly well shot. Incredibly well paced, edited as well. I found color grade, beautiful. Yeah, Black Eyed Peas music video.
It was very good.
Yeah, that's like that's not even like giving it the acclamation that it deserves. It's just an all round well put together story, technically, and like in the story aspect as well.
And I really just want to see what like Lila can do next, and what all of the cast and crew are doing next. It's just so cool. Like,
I think Lila is a huge inspiration to me, because she studied in Brazil film, and then she studied in Cuba film, and then she studied in Canada film, and then she studied in French film, and then she went to Germany and studied film. So like, she's been studying her entire life.
You can never stop learning.
You can never stop. There's always more.
So it's like in all kinds of the country, like all time, and she always come back to Brazil to tell Brazilian stories, to do Brazilian film, you know. So it's like, that's what I want to do, you know, like
goal. Yeah. What do you see next for yourself? Is there anything you're working on other than obviously studying acting again? Are there any projects you'd like to work on? Do you ever like write, or have you got any ideas of your own, or are you just kind of seeing where the road takes you?
Bro, it's, I don't know, just life for me is just something that happened, you know, like, so I have this path. The path is, I want to live off my art. That's it. That's every wish on every candle of every cake, birthday cake that I've ever got. That's it, you know? And lucky enough, I've been doing that. You know, this is the first time actually that I had to work in hospitality. Like I've been working in a hotel, room servicing, and it's very cool. Really like doing that actually, because I'm always like, bro, there's so many stories here. You know, of meeting so many people. Like this is so this is so cool. So yeah, this is also like a very big part of it. You just have to live, like live, and get experience, because there are roles that I feel that I'm not prepared to do.
Yeah.
You know, because you need to fulfill yourself. I don't know how to call it.
Need the life experience.
Yeah. You know, like a pillow that you have to put stuff in it? How do you call it?
Stuffing.
Yeah. Stuffing. That's what I need to do with myself, you know?
Yeah.
You
Fill your
need
soul.
to stuff the stuff.
Like find more of
Inside
yourself. I don't know, I find that like every year as I get older, I'm like, I find out more of who I am as a person. And it's like, how could I not realize this before? How do I have so little understanding of myself before?
Experience.
It's scary how when you look back, but you're exactly right. It's like emotional stuffing.
Exactly.
And you're becoming, it's like you're a Build-A-Bear and you're
Yeah.
getting filled up with like stuffing until you're ready to go like
Into the world.
a Brazilian concept in the acting industry. Like stuffing is something that
I like that.
you're missing stuffing. You
I
know,
like that,
you're
actually.
missing that because
You're missing stuffing.
yeah.
I'm gonna start saying that to people as an insult. Be like,
Yeah.
you're missing stuffing. Walk away. I can just tell. Goodbye.
So I think now that I did the movie and went to Cannes and everything, you got to. There's a learning curve, right? You start, you know that you don't know anything, and then you start doing stuff and studying, and you're like, I think I know stuff, and then you got into a deep hole, and you're like, oh my god, I don't know anything, but I know what I need to know.
Yeah.
And then you keep doing it, and then you master it, right? So I'm in this corner right now that I studied, I did stuff, and then I went to Cannes, and I'm like,
What next?
Honestly, that's the best place to be in. Because
Yeah.
you're now
With so much
absorbing
possibility.
knowledge, you're getting all the stuffing.
exactly. I'm getting all the stuffing, so I'm on the stuffing mission, you know, living, doing, having
love that.
experience. That's why I went back to study. And WAPA, who would miss the opportunity?
Exactly.
What artist would miss the opportunity to study?
There are some great
here?
legends that have come out of
Exactly.
that as well.
Like it's just crazy, you know. Like so, that's why when going back to study, and I need stuffing.
You need stuffing.
I need stuffing. I need stuffing too.
I understood that when I was in Cannes. I was just like, oh my god, I have so much to learn. What the fuck?
That's good though.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. What an incredible episode that was. Also, we want to do a massive shout out to Limitless Studios, to Caleb, Apurva, and Jono. Thank you so much for letting us use this space and the equipment. Like, we cannot do this without you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And as usual, again, thanks to Limitless. Thanks to our amazing guests, Laura and Freya. And big thanks as well to Ian Hale and the Backlot Halo Films for being continued supporters. We'll have some of our other supporters at the end on slides. And it was such an inspiring episode. I hope everyone gets a lot out of it. And thank you for watching again. We really appreciate it.